Baby. His name is Baby.
That's right, baby. It's time for movie trailer trash. Enjoy.
Oh, go on.
Hello, and welcome to Movie Trailer Trash. I'm Charlie.
And I'm Bethany.
I'm legally changing my name to Baby.
That is the dumbest name ever.
Well, I have a theory on that. So
Well,
we
hang
just
on.
watched
Okay,
the trailer for Baby Driver. Now, I said it. Yeah, it's Movie Trailer Trash.
This
Don't
is
worry
Movie
about it.
Trailer Trash.
You know, when you just lean back like a little bit away from the mic, it can still hear everything you're saying, especially when you're interrupting the flow.
Sorry. I just wanted to make sure people knew they were listening to Movie Trailer Trash.
Anyway, Baby Driver, the way I'm using the emphasis might make you think that it's like a little baby driving a car, but it's actually the newest Edgar Wright movie.
Yeah, which, by the way, I recognize the name and I could not place. What is it all he's done?
Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, Scott Pilgrim, an undisclosed amount of Ant-Man.
Okay,
The World's
so
End.
here's the thing. I saw the name and I was like, is Edgar Wright someone I love or someone I hate?
It's
Because I
someone you
couldn't
love.
remember. And
It's someone everybody
here's
loves.
the thing that's weird, is this movie looks bad and not funny and not interesting and not good.
No, you're an idiot.
It looks so bad.
No.
And the name is stupid and the idea is stupid. But how could Edgar Wright do something wrong? That's hilarious. Didn't mean for that pun, but it came out. I seriously don't know because he's awesome. Did he do Paul though?
No,
He's
that was
the only
just
one
Simon
who
Pegg
didn't.
and Nick Frost.
Okay, which I was going to say I thought that was fine anyway. It wasn't great, but it was fine.
What did you say about when The World's End trailer came out?
I think that I was like, well, when the World's End trailer came out, they didn't give us any clue to what was really going to happen, right? It was just
You thought it
guys
looked
going
bad.
around. I don't think so.
Did you like the look of Scott Pilgrim when the trailer first came out?
No, but I also, that's my least favorite of all of them.
But Scott Pilgrim is awesome.
But it's my least favorite of all of them, and I could take it or leave it.
He's trying to leave, first of all, as little of the humor in the trailer as possible. There wasn't a lot of humor at all.
It didn't even look funny.
Well,
It
relax.
didn't even look funny.
But the
I'm
mood
not,
of
I'm
it
not relaxed.
is funny. Like, it's going to be funny, first of all, because you have a nonchalant Kevin Spacey villain, which I love, where he's just like nonchalantly doing super evil things, like threatening the guy's girlfriend and whatever. You have Jamie Foxx, who is going to be really funny, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You have, I think Flea was in there, the bass player for Red Hot Chili Peppers. You have John Hamm, who is one of the bad guys, who's going to be great. You have John Bernthal, who's Punisher, who is awesome. And the main guy looks, boring, but that happens all the time. The main guy is
his
boring.
face is, I'm sorry, unpleasant.
Well,
I
yeah.
know that he's probably like every teenage girl's heartthrob or whatever, but he apparently, I heard today, was in Fault in Your Stars.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
I think it's Asphalt in Your Stars.
No.
I think it's The Fault in Our Stars.
The Fault in Our Stars. Okay, I couldn't remember. Anyway, whatever. But especially he just looks so lame next to all those amazing actors. He just looks lame, and I don't like the idea of like, oh, he's a little off. He listens to music all the time.
I like
Get
it.
it? Isn't
it's
that
so
funny?
cool. It's so old school. It's so Tarantino.
He
the
had
whole
an
thing
accident when he was a kid, so he has to listen to music?
The whole
Like,
thing
what?
looks so Tarantino. It's like if Edgar Wright made a Tarantino movie. It's like a crime,
Yeah,
heist
and I
movie
guess-
with all these like wacky characters that don't belong together. And
They definitely don't belong. This is what I guess. I guess that I think that those two things should always be separate. I think that there's no place for Quentin Tarantino to be in an Edgar Wright movie. I mean, not him as an actor, but him
they're pretty
the style.
similar.
I disagree.
Edgar Wright, they both
They
do the
have a
same
lot of
thing where
dialogue.
they choose a genre and then they just make their own movie out of that. Yeah. They have really good dialogue. They have really good direction and, pacing of story and everything. And it's very unique to them, but they're
Good
also
enough,
very similar.
but Edgar Wright, at least the ones that I have seen, has a very dry, hilarious British humor to it. All of the ones I've seen, at least all the good ones.
Well, these guys aren't British.
But it doesn't matter, though. The humor should be. Is Edgar Wright British?
Yes.
Okay.
Very.
I was just assuming because of Shaun of the Dead and
He also
World's End.
made Spaced with Simon Pegg, which
Hot
is
Fuzz.
I haven't seen a lot of, but it is a really good British
Space?
sitcom.
You said Space?
Spaced.
Oh, haven't heard of that.
But my theory, by the
I
way.
want, if I see Edgar Wright, I want it to be as funny as Hot Fuzz. I'm going to always hold it up to the highest standard.
That's not fair because Scott Pilgrim isn't as funny as
No.
Hot Fuzz, but it's still an amazing
I
movie.
would say that Scott Pilgrim isn't as funny as most comedies.
Well, no, it's not.
It's like
It's not just a comedy.
yeah, it's just like a whole different. It's fine.
That's like
it's
saying,
like, oh,
like-
that was interesting.
Like The Avengers is not as funny as most comedies.
But The Avengers is funny.
It is funny.
I don't think that. I don't know. Scott Pilgrim, I feel like is
Or
in
it's
a
like
much
how The Nice
lower
Guys
tier.
is not funny as most
As far as
comedies,
Edgar Wright.
but it's more of a movie, more of a
You
story.
say that, but you know I haven't seen that, so
No,
I
I know,
have no
but
frame
that's-
of reference.
But that's what kind of the same thing. It's just
Okay.
like
well,
his
how
other
about
movies.
this? We'll just stop the podcast. We'll watch Nice Guys
okay,
and
we'll stop
see
it
what
right
I
now.
think.
Then we'll see what you think. You'll probably be like, "Oh, there's too
Just
many
kidding.
boobs. I'm a girl."
Just kidding, but I hate when there's boobs for no purpose.
Well, the purpose is that it's in a seedy porn industry.
Okay, well, I'm good.
Oh, there you go.
That's all. I mean, that's
Bring
a
on the
purpose.
boobs.
That's a purpose.
But I think my theory is that his name just isn't Baby. My theory is that Kevin Spacey found him when he was a baby and just called him Baby and raised him to be this getaway driver.
Yeah, that would make sense, I guess.
That's
I mean,
what
it's
I
still
think is going to
super
happen.
dumb. But I could see like an idiot guy being like, "Hey, baby, what do you want?" Just because he doesn't want to name it,
Right.
and he would think of it as an it.
And
you know?
he's also choosing to raise it to do this specific thing for him.
Yeah, so he's just like, I'm not gonna
That's
get
my guess.
attached.
I haven't read anything
well, because
about
he
it.
did say that you shouldn't get attached when the guy was talking about like starting a date. Somebody said that. I don't know if it was Kevin Spacey.
It was Jamie
but,
Foxx.
But I could see that being a thing. Like he's like, if I raise this child myself, I can make it so that he's basically a driving machine.
But when was the last time you saw awesome car chases like that? They don't do that anymore. Maybe Mission Impossible?
Yes, Mission Impossible. But here's the thing. It didn't look that exciting, even though he was
What?
doing all of these crazy
Did you see him
moves.
do the handbrake through the alley around the truck
Yeah.
and around the dumpster and then coming out the other way?
Yeah, and it looked cool, but then it was like, why is this not exciting? It should be exciting. And I think it's just because the way the commercial was shot,
Radar Love?
which worries me about how the movie is shot.
Well, no,
'Cause the
you don't have to
commercial-
worry about how the movie is shot with Edgar Wright.
But what I'm saying is the commercial, when he's sliding around and doing different stuff, it's almost silent. Like you can't hear what's going on. You can't hear the car screeching or whatever.
Yeah, well, I think that
It's
this
awkward.
trailer
There's
was
something weird about it.
very purposeful to not show anything because they already know people are going to see it because it's Edgar Wright and Kevin Spacey and Jamie Foxx and John Hamm.
And also, okay, some of these actors are amazing.
They're all
obviously.
amazing.
Okay, they all are. I don't know anything about the guy who plays Baby though, and I can't speak for him.
I don't either.
But as far as the others, they're all amazing. It does, like you said, it doesn't feel like they belong together in any sense of the word.
Yeah, that's why it's awesome.
And you could say, well, that's kind of like Ocean's 11, right? Like the whole idea is you have all the different kinds of personalities, but they felt like they belonged together. They all felt like they belonged together. This is like, why is Jamie Foxx
well,
hanging
they
out
felt
with
like
these
they
people
belonged
at
together
all?
because
And why
they
on
were all
earth-
friends, and that's why they made the movie together.
Well, yeah. But who else was it?
But these guys,
Not
that's-
John Hamm. Who was the other guy?
Which one?
I don't know. One of the other guys.
John Hamm, Jamie Foxx,
Yeah.
John Bernthal,
Who's that?
Punisher.
Okay. Yeah, it just felt like, what are you doing here?
Well, that's the whole point, is that he gets people from different walks of life so that they don't know each other, so that it's all just random and you're meeting each other for the first time. And supposedly
Fine
they're
enough.
probably the best at what they do in every field because it's a heist movie and that's what happens.
Fine enough, but
Fine enough.
there was nothing about it that made me be like, oh, I can't wait to see this. Nothing about it. Nothing.
How dare you? I'm so excited to see this movie.
And maybe I gotta watch the commercial again, the trailer again, because it was really long.
It is. It's like 2.5 minutes long.
And maybe if I go back and watch it, I'll think differently. The gimmicks didn't seem that interesting to me. Like, oh, the gimmick of like, my name is Baby, just call me Baby. It's so lame. And they were talking about that at work. At work, a few of my friends were like,
No, but-
Baby is the worst name ever. If you name a baby, you are a bad person.
Yeah, he's a bad person. That's the whole point.
And
in my
but
mind.
we were joking about it. We were like, I was like, that would be like naming your baby like Child. Like, here's my child.
Yeah, I
It
think
just-
that's been done in a movie before. I don't remember which one it was. Like someone had a weird name, and it was just
I could
'cause
see like kid
their parents named him
being
that.
a name that's acceptable, I guess.
Yeah, but yeah, no, this movie is gonna be awesome. It's gonna be super fun, and
I don't
really
see where you're
funny.
seeing the fun. Nothing in it seemed fun except for at the very end.
Because it's goofy.
At
It's
the
not
very
realistic.
end of the trailer when she said my purse and he spun the car around and gave her her purse.
It's not the same.
That
it's a very
seemed kind of
similar
fun.
humor and goofiness to Scott Pilgrim, and less like Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead.
Well, there you go. I don't want Edgar
Hot
Wright
Fuzz and
wasting
Shaun of the Dead
his
were
time
like,
making more
you know-
Scott Pilgrims when he could be making
No,
more Shaun
Scott
of the
Pilgrim
Dead
is
and
awesome.
Hot Fuzz. Sure, but is it anything compared to Hot Fuzz? No. It's in a whole different category. Hot
Exactly.
Fuzz is up as high as you can get. As high as you can get on anybody's movie list of quality movies. It's a quality movie in every sense of the word. The writing, the directing, the acting, every little tiny piece of that movie has a purpose, and it's amazing.
Well, yeah, but just because, Kill Bill isn't Pulp Fiction doesn't mean that it's
bad example.
like terrible.
Those are both incredible movies.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
No, bad example. Pick another one. Pick another one.
Another what?
One that's worse than Kill Bill.
Django.
Okay, Django. Django's fun. It's good.
Django's
Not
awesome.
as good
Django's,
as Kill Bill and Pulp Fiction.
Django's better than the vast majority of movies that are made. Like a lot better. Right?
I would give you that.
It and
Yes.
Inglourious Bastards are
Oh
a
my
step
God.
below Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, Kill Bill. But
well,
that doesn't mean that they are all of a sudden bad and terrible for some reason.
I'm not going to get into why I disagree with you on all of this, but I will say this. You're right. Somehow, some bizarre way, Django and Inglourious Bastards are lower than Kill Bill and Pulp Fiction. But it's crazy because also Inglourious Bastards is one of the most amazing films I've ever seen.
Yeah, there you go.
But
That's what
I
I
just
think.
don't.
I think Scott Pilgrim.
that
Scott
this
Pilgrim's
is
one
a
of my
different
favorite
level.
movies.
That's fine. I don't really ever want to see it again. Like I was bored during parts of it. I don't like being bored in movies. I'm almost never bored in movies unless they're not good. So I'm just saying, okay, obviously that probably came off as really pretentious, whatever. Everybody has their own opinion. It's subjective. But I don't usually get bored. I usually can entertain myself, be excited, or try and find something about it that I like. And I think this story wasn't compelling to
Were
me.
you bird during World's End?
No. That
No.
movie was hilarious and fast paced, and
Yeah, and the trailer
Great.
for it was terrible. It looked awful in the trailer.
it just looked
let's
like they
be
were going
honest.
around drinking.
Right.
But that's because if they would have shown the spoiler, it would have spoiled it.
Maybe there's a thing. Maybe something happens.
Maybe there is.
Or maybe
but
it's
I'm
just a
not
fun
going,
heist movie.
Well, let's get into this.
It's
'cause
so 80s. It's awesome.
Let's get into the next segment.
What is it? Where, when, and how you're going to see this movie?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Let's do it.
Where? When? How?
Are you going to see this movie? I'm going to see this movie in the theater.
Okay.
Opening night. In a big theater where I could watch it and have fun and laugh and be a fun person.
Okay, and you were saying that maybe maybe it has some
Thing going
thing,
on? I
some
don't know.
like
Maybe.
spoil thing that they don't want to spoil for us.
Maybe it's aliens.
There's something funny about it, something that they're hiding.
Maybe there's some big reveal in the third act that
Yeah.
is like funny and important
Yeah.
that they don't want to show in the trailer.
True.
Maybe.
And maybe.
Baby.
But I'm not going to go and see a movie based on a maybe there will be something good in it that we don't see
But
that
all
is
this
going to
other
be in
stuff
it.
looks good too. If it was just this and it's just like a goofy 80s heist movie that is shot by Edgar Wright and
But
with
it
all
doesn't
these amazing
have the
actors,
fun
that's
feel.
awesome.
It doesn't have the fun feel as a goofy 80s, heist movie. It didn't seem fun. In fact, when Kevin Spacey was talking, I was kind of bored during the preview. Oh, that's what it was. Okay. So in the trailer, for those of you who haven't watched it, you can, pause us, watch it, come back, whatever. But in the trailer, at the very beginning, it's just Kevin Spacey talking to a room of people while this annoying kid in the background just beats his hands on the table.
He's
and
playing
is, like,
piano.
pretending to play piano or whatever, clearly not paying attention. And he has this big elaborate scheme. And he's like, so we're going to do this and this and this. And then Jamie Foxx says, why am I supposed to believe that driver knows anything about what you just said? He's not even paying attention. And the driver takes his headphones out and says, and just repeats verbatim
Uh-huh.
what Kevin Spacey said just like kind of monotonely, like we're going to do this, 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 and this, and this, and then we're going to do that. And then he knocks on the table just like Kevin Spacey did. And he says, any questions? And I think it's supposed to be like, and to me, it was just like, this is so boring and annoying. When he was repeating it, I was bored.
Heist movie that you enjoyed?
Not
counting Rogue One.
The Ocean's movies, I think. I mean, I don't know. What heist? Give me some options here.
Well, that's what I mean. You don't like heist movies.
No, all of the Ocean's movies are awesome. Even 13, which isn't that good, is still a great movie.
Well, see, people think those are not good.
Oh my God. If anybody says Ocean's 11 is not good, I will fight them. I will fight them with my fist.
They just think it's like goofy.
No.
It is.
It's excellent.
Well, it's good. It's fun.
It's
goofy,
excellent.
though.
Nobody saw that movie and knew what was going to happen. Everybody was surprised.
No, of course they did.
Guaranteed.
It was a remake.
No, I've seen the original. It is not the same.
Yeah, Frank Sinatra sings a song.
It is not the same.
Just like in the George Clooney
Frank
one.
Sinatra sings the song like 8 times during that movie. And I'm like, why are we singing about a kick in the head again?
Ain't that a kick in the head?
But no.
Ain't that a
it's
heist
not the
in the
same.
head?
It's not the same. And actually, that's kind of why I felt like it was interesting to go back and watch the original, because I was like, oh, this is different. And it was kind of cool. But no, anybody who has seen Ocean's 11, there's no way you can get through that movie without laughing and without being like, whoa, wait, what's happening? Because they're so good. It's so good. So first of all, there's that. And anybody who wants to argue with me, how dare you? Who do you think you are? Brad Pitt, George Clooney, Julia Roberts. Need I say more? I don't think so, but I could, because there's 11 of them and they're all great.
Name 2 more.
I'm afraid that I'll get names wrong and then I'll be embarrassed.
Yeah.
Don Cheadle. You cannot go wrong.
I hope that caught your mouthing of Don Cheadle. She leaned away and looked over at me and went,
I hate getting names wrong. It's like when we called Chloe Moretz the wrong name during an entire episode.
Mortez.
Whatever. We just made her more exotic. But no, okay. Regardless, I'm going on a tangent. I'm on the tangent. But that's a heist movie I liked. I also liked The Italian Job, which I don't think you've ever seen.
Nope.
That's a good one.
Wait, the original or Mark Wahlberg?
The one with Colin Farrell.
Okay, so not the original.
Guess not. The one with all the Mini Coopers.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was heist movies that came out more recently that I don't think I would like are those Now You See Me movies.
Oh, well, that's about magic.
Yeah. It's stupid.
The Town.
Oh, I liked The Town a lot.
A heist gone horribly
and
wrong.
There's a movie called Inside Man.
Is that Denzel Washington?
Yeah, that's a good movie. That's crazy. That's a weird movie. I like that. So I like heist movies, okay? I do. But most heist movies have a lot of humor and a lot of action and a lot of whatever.
It's going to.
And
all of that.
It looked like he was just driving around listening to music. It looked like the whole gimmick was like, I listen to music all the time. Okay, so no, I'm not going to see it in theater. He
sounded just like that.
You can go with, whoever to see it in theater. And
whoever.
I mean, probably Ryan.
Gosling?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But however, I will go if Ryan Gosling is there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just blatant right in front of me
Yeah.
while looking into my eyes.
If Ryan Gosling is there, and I'll even do this, if Scarlett Johansson is there, I will go. So I threw a girl in there for you.
What about if it's just Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah.
All right.
Why
Deal.
not?
It's a date.
It's still Scarlett Johansson. Why not meet Scarlett Johansson?
All right, let's rotten these tomatoes.
Cool.
Rotten tomatoes percentages.
This one is going to be hard for me.
It's going to be hard for me too because I'm excited about it, but I know that
also,
it's not
It's really hard to tell. Like you said, he didn't show his cards. He didn't. He's holding a.
He didn't show his house of cards.
It
Spacey.
It definitely seems like hard to tell. It looks like it's well made enough, like filming wise. It looks
of
like. Of
course, it's well made. It's like a
okay, but I'm saying the filming style.
He's potentially
and stuff
already
looks
one of the best directors of all
time.
time.
The thing that I don't seem to like about it is the dialogue that I heard. I was kind of bored with it, and I expect I expect great dialogue.
Every single bit of dialogue in that entire trailer, except for that little beginning part where he's doing the reciting thing.
Yeah.
Is like one sentence taken from different scenes all over the place.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and just go for it. You're right. He's a good director. People like him. I'll say it gets a 79%. by critics. I think it'll do well, but maybe not nearly as well as, Hot Fuzz or something amazing like that. Audience might like it more. So I'll give it an 82. 82 for audience.
I'm going to say that the critics are going to give this a 73%.
Lowballing.
And the audience is going to give it a 91%.
That big of a discrepancy almost never happens. Unless it's like a Christian movie.
Yeah, that Shaq one.
It's like 17%, 89%.
Yeah, it's insane.
But that's just, there are certain movies where like people are going to like them no matter how bad they are because it's that style of movie that person likes and whatever, like Christian movies.
Usually
romance
movies.
Yeah, people rate it
DC
on a different
movies.
People rate it on a different scale. Like, yeah, if it made me cry and it's a romance movie, then the individuals will say that was great. And
if it has Batman in it and
critics,
just it has Batman in it.
Critics have to be critical, and they're not going to just be like, "Oh, love, romance." They're just going to be.
There's no critic that's just going to be like, "This was fun." And I loved watching it because it's fun.
They have to think of it more critically than that. They might say this was fun, but then they'll go into more about it. So, yeah, I mean, but I just don't see that big of a discrepancy for something like this. That would be shocking to me.
I think it's going to happen, man. I do think that
Did
it will
you see
get
how close together I put it?
Because you know what I kind of compare
79 to 82?
Yeah. What I kind of like thought about it had the same mood of was Man from U.N.C.L.E.
That was a great movie.
That was a great movie, and it was.
Is that a heist movie or a spy movie?
No, a spy movie. But it was mostly great because of the performances, right?
Yeah,
because of Henry Cavill.
I didn't expect that one to be good.
And I think that one got under 70.
What? Are you crazy?
I'll check. Let me check right now because I want to make sure. But I think it did.
Well, anyway, that's one of those where the trailer was really bad. It looked like dark.
But it had a great director.
Like the actual film looked dark. It looked like there was no light in it at all. Like it was always nighttime. And it looked slow and not interesting. And then, we were with family and they were like, let's watch it. So we watched it. And I was just cracking up. I'm like, why didn't anybody tell me this was going to be funny and fun and interesting? Because the trailer didn't tell me.
67%.
Wow, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
And I mean, what was going on during that time of the year where people were just like, I'm going to be extra harsh on this awesome movie?
Oh, I think it was during a heavy superhero time.
Yeah.
I think. But yeah, it was the summer of 2015 is
every
when it was
year
released.
is a heavy superhero year now.
But I think that it has kind of a similar tone, where it's just kind of silly and fun.
Okay.
And so I think that it'll be very similar to that, but even better because it's Edgar Wright.
See, that movie was really good, and I think you're right. It was the awesome standout performances. And I don't know if these people can have the kind of chemistry that Armie Hammer and Henry Cavill had.
Maybe. You never know.
I don't know, but
Jamie Foxx is usually great with everybody.
I know, and yet I wasn't feeling any type of good vibes, man. So we'll see what happens. Will I see it? Sure. Yes. I will see it. How will I see it? Probably at home after Charlie has already seen it and has told me he loves it. If he tells me that it wasn't that good, then I'll never see it. But I'm sure he'll love it. So
yeah, I've already predispositioned
when I heard
to like it.
that this was a movie about a heist and Kevin Spacey was in it, I was like, oh, Charlie's gonna like this one.
Yeah.
It's funny because
I love Kevin Spacey, man. He's great.
A friend of mine at work can't stand him. Like because
he's creepy.
Out. Yeah, and
he's
he is
so creepy.
But to the point where she can't even enjoy a movie with him in it, even though he's supposed to be creepy.
Yeah.
And it was really funny because today she was talking to some other people and she was like, "Why didn't anybody warn me that Kevin Spacey was going to be in that trailer?" She was like, "I was like, oh, well, I'll check this trailer out," and then Kevin Spacey was the first thing on the screen. So that was kind of funny. But I love Kevin Spacey. I think he's great.
I agree with that. I think that's a good spot to end on. Let's move on to some plugs. You can visit us on our website at mttpodcast.com. You can follow us on Twitter at mttpodcast. You can go do some other stuff.
Support us on Patreon.
Yes, that's going to be up probably by the time this episode comes out. We're going to have some new things on there.
How can they find us on Patreon?
You can just search movie trailer trash and it'll
Okay.
come up. But I'll also put a link up on the website as well, probably on Twitter too. We're going to have some new things from time to time, some extra episodes with me or Bethany. We're going to have a thing where we do the best trailers of the month at the very end of the month, and you can unlock those via Patreon pledges, and it'll be a good time, and everyone will have fun.
You know, if you're enjoying hanging out with us, go support us over on Patreon, and you can get a little extra.
Yeah. Also, go subscribe to the Entertainment Buffet YouTube channel and follow them on Twitter @EntertainBuffet.
All right, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye, baby.